All right, are we ready? Okay. Hello, my name is Brian Tyner, Fire Chief of the Minneapolis Fire Department. I would like to thank you all for being here. And I'd also like to thank State Fire Marshal Dan Cryer and his team for being here as well. In my 30 years in the fire service, I've seen how quickly an ordinary moment in the kitchen can turn into a tragedy. Some of the most heartbreaking calls I've been on were started by something as simple as food left cooking on the stove. Holiday gatherings should be about family and celebration, not fire trucks and emergency room visits. But every year we see preventable fires disrupt lives. Cooking remains the leading cause of home fires and home fire injuries here in Minnesota and across the country. Unattended cooking is consistently the number one factor we find when we're investigating home cooking fires. Statistics show the holiday season is the most dangerous time of the year for these fires. Thanksgiving is the most dangerous, with Christmas Day and Christmas Eve being number 2 and number 3 with house fires. And the pattern is always the same. Someone says to me, I just stepped away for a minute. But with that distraction, a visitor at the door, a conversation with a family member, a timer that's never got set, and suddenly your house is filled with smoke. Families lose homes because a pan of oil overheated while everybody was watching the game. I've seen injuries that changed lives forever. Burns that could have been prevented with one small moment of awareness. After 3 decades, I can tell you, house fires are not a holiday memory you want to have. So as we come into the holidays, I humbly ask that you do these things. Stay in the kitchen when you're cooking, when you're frying, boiling, or broiling. And if you have to leave, turn the burner off. Set timers and use them. Keep kids and pets away from the cooking area. Make sure that combustible items such as towels, packaging, oven mitts, even your sleeves are kept away from the stovetop. And if you plan on using a turkey fryer, do it outside, away from structures, and never put a frozen or partially frozen turkey into the hot oil. You'll get to see, hopefully, what that looks like in a moment. We're going to do a little experiment outside. So be prepared. Have a lid or a baking sheet nearby to smother a small pan fire, and never use water on a grease fire. Make sure that smoke alarms are working prior to the big cooking day. And if a fire starts and you feel unsure or unsafe, just get out and call 911. Don't try to fight a fire that's starting to spread. That's what we're here for, and we're happy to help. I wanted to share these reminders because we've seen what can happen when they're ignored, and because I know how many heartaches can be prevented. So cook with care, because the best gift that you can give your family this holiday season is a safe and healthy home. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Fire Marshal Dan Cryer.
Thank you, Chief Tyner. I appreciate you having us here at this media event, and just want to say good morning to everyone. I'm Dan Cryer, and I have the privilege of serving as the State Fire Marshal here in Minnesota. Cooking fires are not just a Minneapolis issue. We see in our statewide data from fire departments that report their data to us that cooking fires are indeed the number one cause of fires across the state. In 2024, they accounted for roughly 38% of the residential fires in Minnesota, and we know of at least one death that has been attributed to a cooking fire. That's a statistic that really stands out to me because 38% is in our residential settings. So what that tells me and what it tells my staff and other fire safety professionals is some of the greatest risk to fire is where we feel the safest, and that's in our homes. So as you're looking at making those holiday memories, and as you're looking to gather around and reconnect, maybe meet new family members that might be brought to your meals or over the holidays over the next few weeks here, keep in mind that we want you to be safe as you're at those gatherings. As State Fire Marshal, my job is also to look at the patterns behind the fires we see. And when it comes to cooking fires, the causes are really straightforward. They are preventable. As Chief Tyner said, things like a crowded stovetop, having combustible items too close to that stovetop, towels, heating pads, could be paper towels, it could be boxes from the foods that you're preparing. Having those too close to the flame, too close to the stovetop, that radiant heat or even that direct flame can cause that fire to start. During the holidays, kitchens get busier and distractions increase. I have 2 kids at home, and many of us up here, we have pets, we have kids, we have families, and when you get the family together, there's even more distraction. So keep in mind, whether you're helping your kids with your homework, whether you're watching the big game, whether you're just keeping tabs via text message on family across the state or across the nation, just answering that quick text can be enough of a distraction to let that fire, that cooking oil, that pan get out of control. So pay attention. Be in the kitchen and be present while cooking. That's your job, and that's your job for the day, and that's how you're going to make this a memorable holiday. Last year in November and December alone, there were reported more than 400 cooking fires reported to our office with over $700,000 worth of damage. So at the end of the day, we're asking you one simple thing. Be present, prevent the fire, and make sure you can enjoy your holiday. And then lastly, as Chief Tyner said, that last line of defense, in the event that you are distracted or something comes up, we want to prevent that tragedy. If we can't prevent the fire, we want you to be safe. And so that's where having working smoke alarms really matters. So test your smoke alarms, make sure the batteries are fresh, they've been replaced in the past year, and make sure that all of your detectors are less than 10 years old. With that, I'll turn it back to Chief Tyner.
Thank you. So with that, we're happy to take questions, or we can just head on over to the experiment.
Obviously, holidays, people are making more food, making things for the first time, there's stress. Does it help to have, if you're visiting someone's house, hey, I want to offer you some help in the kitchen, for example, keep an eye on either the tips that you can share?
I had a hard time hearing a lot of that because of the background noise, but I heard tips. But yeah, just, the biggest thing is to mind your cooking. Keep loose articles and combustibles away from the stove. It's always great to have some help cooking. I think I heard that in the question. But just make sure that they also, understand what they're doing and that you're both on the same page as far as what you're trying to accomplish, and that at least one of you is watching the stove at all times.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's see what happens when you put a turkey when you put a frozen turkey into hot grease.